I'm back, Obama, and I'm back because of your arrogant foreign policy towards the Islamic State, because of your insistence in continuing your bombings in Al-Marli, Zummar and the Mosul Dam, despite our serious warnings. You, Obama, have yet again, through your actions, killed yet another American citizen. So just as your missiles continue to strike our people, our knife will continue to strike the necks of your people.
All right, folks, there you have it. If you want your blood to boil, I guess that has done it. That video, which we believe will also shows the beheading of American Stephen Sotloff. It's not yet been authenticated officially, but it seems to be that the most of the belief is that he has been executed. They don't know if it was on the same day as James Foley, and it's the same location, or if it's a different day and a different location. They don't even know for sure if it's the same terrorist, but it certainly sounds to my naked ear like it is or could be. And again, with the direct message to Barack Obama. Joining us now is our friend Tom DeLay, former Republican House Majority Leader, former Texas Congressman, of course. Hello, Congressman.
Hello, Steve. Pretty nasty day, isn't it? Sad.
I got to tell you, it doesn't get any easier, does it?
No, it doesn't. And you know, it makes me. I think I'm madder at Obama than than anybody else. The Sotloff and Foley have been in captivity for over 2 years, and no one seems to have paid attention to them. Yeah, they went in and tried to get them, but there's reports today that intelligence agencies in our government has been briefing Obama on these kinds of things for well over 2 years. He knows that we are putting our people in very dangerous situations. He knows that we're less safe today than we've been since he's taken office, and yet he doesn't do anything. It's scary if it wasn't so infuriating.
Yeah, and what's more infuriating is when you couple all this and the horrific events of today, which we knew were going to come eventually, with the fact that this State Department, this administration still maintains, and this president still maintains that this is a regional problem, that we're going to bomb them to protect our people and our embassies over there, that this has to be settled by the people in that region. The Iraqis must reject ISIS. And to say, as he said Thursday, Congressman, when he said, we have no strategy. I don't want to put the cart before the horse because we have no strategy. Well, you know what? How about a strategy to protect the homeland, which is what the Prime Minister of Great Britain did, David Cameron, worked on over the weekend. First, he said he was going to do it on Saturday. Then on Monday, he went before the Parliament and announced it while our president was off demagoguing minimum wage. And our Secretary of State, our pathetic Secretary of State, had a photo op windsurfing or kite surfing or some such thing in Nantucket when they should have been constructing a strategy to keep us safe at home.
I can't say it better than you did, Steve. I got to tell you, this is a situation where the whole Middle East is in danger, and this president ought to be pulling together the Saudis. Whatever happened to Kuwait? You know, I haven't heard anything from Kuwait for years. How about UAE?
Yeah.
Stop Qatar from funding these people, the ISIS people, these terrorists. Jordan wants to do something. Why can't we bring everybody together along with Europe and others? Turkey probably would have an interest in getting rid of ISIS. You could pull together a coalition of willing that is so overwhelming that you could take these people out in just weeks. It's just amazing to me that the president's not doing this, although this president is as radical a progressive, as radical a leftist as we've ever seen in politics. And war and the military and these kinds of things just are abhorrent to him. So I know what he's doing. He is desperate not to to use our military, and he's trying to figure out a way to do it without using our military. But The longer he waits, the less safe we are.
Absolutely. And let me ask you about his stated plan to form a strategy, as he put it. Once we have a strategy, and as you alluded to, today we find out he's been getting daily briefings on ISIS for well over a year. But once he comes around to getting a strategy, and once he gets John Kerry off the windsurf, then he's going to first present it to Congress. And then Congress, he wants a vigorous discussion on the floor of the House and Senate on this. I mean, we're looking at next year before he does anything, if he does anything.
Well, I sure hope the House comes back next week. They're scheduled to be back in session next week. I hope the House has a resolution prepared to go after President Obama and his lack of leadership. That would be a perfect thing for them to do. And yeah, you've heard nothing from the Speaker or the minority leader in the Senate about what is the Congress going to do. If this president won't move, Congress can move. We all know that the president's commander-in-chief, but Congress can put pressure on this president to do something. If nothing else, they can give him political cover to do something. He's scared to death that he's going to inflame his, anti-Vietnam War dissidents like John Kerry, the Secretary of State.
I was going to say, like John Kerry.
So,
oh my gosh,
it is such a mess. And as you say, the Prime Minister of England stepping up and showing some leadership. I would be a little scared of some of the stuff he's doing is against civil liberties, but at the same time, he's at least standing up and showing some leadership.
And recognizing, Congressman, that this is a problem not of that could be solved politically in Iraq. And I took this, when he said this, as a direct swipe at our president, because that's all Obama keeps saying. They got to be more inclusive in their parliament in Iraq, all this and all that. He said that this is Islamic fundamentalism. That's the problem. It's a perversion of a religion. It's done on a religious basis, a religious belief. He recognizes it. He's willing to call it that. Our president is not.
Exactly, because he's a Muslim sympathizer. Yeah, we have to admit, he was raised as a Muslim for most of his childhood. So he is a Muslim sympathizer. And so that is also acting against us. But this is not about Iraq. This is not about Iran. This is not about Syria. This is about terrorists that want to kill Americans and destroy our way of life. And it's a war on terror, whatever you want to call it. It will be a war for many, many more years, and you cannot escape the reality that there are people that want to kill us, and if we can identify them and locate them, we need to kill them. That's what needs to be done. This president is using every excuse in the book to keep from doing something that will protect Americans in the homeland.
One more on this issue, Congressman, and when he gets around to acknowledging, after this video has been confirmed, acknowledging this beheading, will it change anything? Will the State Department acknowledge that ISIS is at war with us, even if they don't consider that we're at war with them? I mean, will they acknowledge that?
I doubt it. They haven't for 6 years. They've been running away from the reality that there are people in the world that want to hurt Americans and undermine our way of life. They've never admitted that. That's why we're in the mess we're in. If they just would, if they had the worldview and the focus on what I was just talking about these terrorists are all over the world, not just in Syria and Iraq. They're all over the world, and we ought to be going after them all over the world. And we ought to be building a military rather than drawing down the military. We ought to be building a military that allows us to fight this war. Yet, if you don't have that perception, if you don't have that understanding of what the reality is on the ground, then you can't come up with a strategy. The Pentagon can give you strategy after strategy all day long, and you'll never pick one. That's what's been going on. You know, the Pentagon has a strategy, all kinds of strategies. And yet Obama will not act.
And let me just give a little bit of sobering and chilling news. And it was 10 years ago yesterday, Congressman, that Beslan took place, where Chechnyan terrorists invaded a school and took 1,000 people hostage, and 350 plus wound up dying, and over 150 of those children, many of them shot in the back, little school children. And when I think about the beheadings of the children and the putting them on the sticks in Iraq, I just fear for what these people who might already be in our country might be plotting. Oh,
it's beyond. You can't think in those terms, Steve. We can't think. Whoever thought that an airplane could be used as a missile on 9/11? I worry about the next couple of weeks. There's got to be something that's going to happen somewhere. Maybe not in the United States, God forbid, but somewhere they're going to use that anniversary as they have every year since 9/11.
Congressman, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Always appreciate speaking to you.
Thank you, Steve. Great to be with you.
All right. You too. Tom DeLay, ladies and gentlemen, on a very troubling day, very troubling indeed. But this is the beast that we're fighting. I just wish we had an administration that would admit that we're fighting that beast, or tell us we're fighting that beast, or have a plan to fight that beast. I guess there are more important things. What do I know? Okay, when we come back, we're going to be honored by the presence of Monsignor Jim Lasante, who will talk about this from a theological point of view. Don't miss it. Steve Malzberg Show on Newsmax Television.